What? Seriously? Can't I just be happy without a reason? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and yes, there is a very valid reason why I am so happy today because it's the first vlog since I started where I'm actually going to be talking about the bikes which we were traveling on. Well, if you haven't seen in the past two vlogs, I have been uploading my clips of traveling from Bangalore to Pondicherry. So, Tarun and I, what? Did you just say you don't know Tarun? Well, then head over to my last vlog and get to know him and then come here and continue. So Tarun, my friend, and I were traveling on these two bikes, the Duke 200 and the R15 version 3.0, both of them in their latest, I don't think the latest iterations, but both of them were BS4 compliant at that point. I guess R15 made tweaks later on, and recently they added the ABS to their model. But the Duke 200, which we were riding, had an ABS, and the R15, which we were driving, did not have one at that point. So let me start with the bigger bike of the two. So to get a more authentic experience of each bike, while going from Bangalore to Pondicherry, I was riding R15 at a stretch, and while coming back from Pondicherry to Bangalore, I was driving the Duke 200. Well, so far as to say about Duke 200, we all know how raw and what crisp fashion KTM bikes deliver their power. You really get that surge, and that wire by throttle kind of a response is really crisp, and you know how much throttle input you are giving. But before this trip, I really used to wonder why do people pick up R15 for like longer journeys, and there had been so many people who took their R15s, even the older versions, which weren't that refined compared to the current one, to Leh Ladakh and to 1,000 kilometer rides, but only after riding for this kind of a stretch and the two bikes simultaneously, I came to realize that if I were to pick one, I would definitely pick R15, and I have my own reasons for it. So, first reason is the R15 being a smaller displacement engine, it does take a little while to get up to those triple digit speeds, but once you get there, the kind of stability that fully fed body offers and the kind of aerodynamics it has. So, it, it does require you to sit in a little demanding position, but once you are in it and once you get used to it, then the aerodynamics of it really cuts the air through your body. And so like the lack of wind blast makes it easier for you to cover a lot of kilometers, because when coming back to Bangalore, I was riding the Duke 200. It was really easy. The acceleration was too hard, but after a certain point, when you have to munch a lot of kilometers, then you need a little sedate bike, because too much of acceleration in DX, it does help you in overtakes, but too much of a raw power and like teenage kind of a behavior will really stress you out, because you have to manage the bike, you have to take control of all the power. Not to say that you can't use powerful bikes to travel, but among these two beginner bikes on the straights, it was really easy to cruise at 110 speeds, and the engine refinement and how silently the R15 would sit at those speeds, and it would just maintain the corner. So it was mostly a 6 lane highway, so even if it was a long curve, I think the R15 sat on the line and you just knew you could follow that line and it would sit there. And obviously there was a little bit of front bias, because due to the kind of posture you sit on that fully faired bike, there was a lot of weight on the front handle, and I was not really used to riding a fully faired bike. I had a Pulsar 220 at that point, so it took a little while for my shoulders and my back muscles. But after a few kilometers, I won't say the pain went away. It basically became numb. But still, I am saying I would pick the R15 over the Duke 200, because it is just so stable in the longer journeys. And well, while coming back, there was a lot of wind blast. I was sitting up, straight up on the Duke 200, and mass centralization as such on both the machines is really good. But as I said, the posture in which you sit on the R15, there is greater feedback from the front tire because there is so much weight on the front handle. So you could just spin it and it would stay there. That's the best part. Whereas the Duke 200 is a little too frugal, well, where you can make the most out of this characteristic of Duke, of it being so flickable, is I think a ghat section, because here we were just covering mostly straights and like a lot of straights. So I think I didn't really mind if R15 got to triple digit speeds in a second or two later than Duke 200. But if it was ghat section, then I think we can really say that there is no replacement for displacement, because as I said, in the longer curves, the R15 is great, but when it comes to flickability, if it's a tighter corners, I can tell you, climbing up a ghat section would be a lot easier on the Duke 200, because you can just spin the bike in a sharp corner and then just slot a gear down and rev up. So I think there the R15 might suffer, because a smaller engine, the more you rev it to go up, the noise and the vibrations will get to you at high RPMs, no matter how refined the engine is. And there is no doubt about the fact that there are less vibrations on the Yamaha motor, and it's much more refined. And even though both of them, as I said, were BS4 compliant, and now both of them come equipped with the ABS. I think the new BS4 compliant Duke 200 was launched with the ABS itself, but the R15 version 3.0 later got an update to dual channel ABS. Well, apart from that, the last practical thing which I would like to point out is the range of both the bikes. The Duke 200, for some reason, I don't know, it was particularly the bike which we were driving. The fuel gauge was not that accurate, and otherwise also it has a smaller tank capacity and less mileage than the R15. So it was like, at least when I was driving R15 for like 300-350 kilometers from Bangalore to Pondicherry, I was more at peace, because one full tank and it has great mileage and it has a little more capacity than the Duke 200. So I think that's a huge plus point there. So I am in, as I would like to mention, that I am in no way expert. I'm just 22-year-old who loves riding bikes. And well, bikes are more than just numbers on the paper, so they certainly make you feel certain emotions, and these were just my experiences. And you know exactly what I'm talking about if you have ridden one, or you have been on one, or if you've cranked one or revved one. So that's pretty much it from my side on the Duke 200 and about the R15. Um, Tell me in the comment section below which one is your favorite bike, and here's my favorite and the last clip of this series. If you want to see more, I have uploaded in the previous two vlogs. Enjoy the clip.
अबे क्या खतरनाक हेलमेट है तेरा। बहुत खतरनाक हेलमेट है। हेलमेट गिरता जा रहा है साले इतना। तो पूरी देर में कैसे चला रहा था।
मेरा सोच R15 तभी देखो ये दिया है क्योंकि ये थोड़ा फिट है।
साले नॉर्मल है।
हाँ मतलब
तू चला कैसे रहा है।
वो टीवी का है ना, बस चला रहा हूँ, ये मत पूछ। तो ट्रक आ रहा है एक मिनट, निकल जाएगा।
तू चला कैसे रही है।
मत पूछ, बस चला रहा हूँ, पकड़।
अबे कभी ऊपर तो बहुत ऊपर, कभी नीचे तो ऐसा नीचे की। बाप रे कितनी देर बची।
5-10 मिनट में पहुँच जाना चाहिए। गेस फोन का है।
वीडियोस भी आ गई होगी अच्छी।
हाँ आ गई होगी।
Well, hope you guys enjoyed that clip. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like if you related to the content, kindly share if you think that people share the same passion as we do of riding, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next vlog.